Hey, I'm Ben and you're watching Batarang to the Butt, and in this video I want to talk about Ghostmaker, a character who first appeared in Batman issue 100 in the aftermath of the Joker War. Ghostmaker was created by writer James Tynion IV and artist Jorge Jimenez. After a couple of issues, it was revealed that Ghostmaker is a vigilante who trained with several of the same mentors as Bruce Wayne did. In fact, in those formative years, the characters would cross paths multiple times. A friendly rivalry formed, and for want of a better word, they became frenemies. Like Batman, Ghostmaker uses his skills to fight crime, but unlike Batman, he doesn't hesitate to kill when he deems it necessary. Ghostmaker also sees crime fighting as an art, rather than a duty, and it's these differences in opinion which led to the characters parting ways for good. Well, seemingly for good. In issue 104, we get Batman's side of the story. I hadn't had a real friend in years. I didn't allow myself to get close to people in school. I pushed each one of them away, holding the mission in my mind. And so, one night I finally decided to tell him who I was and why I was fighting. I told him about the night my parents died. I told him about the oath, about my mission. He was so mad, he tried to kill me. He was angry because he thought that he had found somebody like him, somebody who was doing this for the art of it, not for some childish idea of vengeance. Over the next few years, he would find me and try to prove that he was the better student and that he would be the better crime fighter. I saw him again at the end of my journey. I told him he wasn't welcome in Gotham City. He said that I wasn't welcome in any city he set up camp in. We agreed. The characters would cross paths one more time when Bruce offered Ghostmaker a role in the Batman Incorporated team. But Ghostmaker didn't take the opportunity and the two ended up fighting instead. But still, neither of them had ever broken the agreement. Which brings us back to issue 100, where Ghostmaker shows up uninvited. In the aftermath of the Joker War, Gotham City was practically destroyed, and so Ghostmaker decided it was time for him to step in as the city's new protector. Essentially, he wanted to prove that his way was better than Batman's way. When he first arrives in Gotham, he manages to kill the Grinners, whom I have already made a video about. And then, he aims to make an example out of Clown Hunter, who I have also made a video about. Darn, I'm good. And so it isn't long before Ghostmaker's machinations lead to a big clash between him and Batman. In fact, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the matter. Who do you think has the right idea here? Batman believes that if they resort to killing, then nobody learns and nobody changes, and nothing is better in the end. But Ghostmaker argues that not everyone can be saved. However, Batman responds that most people usually can, and you usually can't tell when you're face to face with them on the worst day of their life. But of course Batman manages to save Clown Hunter, before offering Ghostmaker a new deal. To join him. Batman admits that he's getting older, and yet the city seems to be getting younger. And thanks to the Joker War, he no longer has the resources that he once did. Also, he no longer has allies in the police force since Jim Gordon retired. So basically, he could use the help. No killing, obviously, but sure, that would just make it more of an entertaining challenge for Ghostmaker anyway. They're not always going to agree, but it is nice to see them being friends again. And so, Ghostmaker sets up his own base of operations in Gotham, and refers to it as the Haunt. Oh, and his dinosaur is bigger than the Batcave's. He would want me to point that out. Although it is a rare occasion, we have seen under the character's mask. However, we still do not know his real name. According to Ghostmaker, only 5 living people have ever seen his full face, and only 3 know his birth name, which starts with a KH. It appears that Batman is a part of both groups. His ultra high-tech vehicles of choice are the Ghost Racer, which isn't quite as fast as the Batmobile, and the Ghost Stream, which Harley Quinn describes as a weird spaceship plane thing. The character hasn't yet received his own comic, but he has been appearing in a backup story in the main Batman comic, which has been incredible. It's a wild, over-the-top story which shows how some of the villains of the world treat Ghostmaker like an urban legend. It shows just how much of a badass he is and exactly what he's capable of. This backup story also confirms that Ghostmaker is bisexual, as we see both a man and a woman in his bed. Then he discusses with his AI, which is called Icon, how sleeping with those people was a form of meditation. And he goes on to explain that what comes next will be him indulging in his base pleasure. I've talked a lot about the character here, but the best thing to do is just to go and read the comics. I recommend all of James Tynion IV's run so far. I think it's been dope, but it might be easier for you to jump in from Batman issue 100 onwards. Or it might be easier to grab the collection Batman Ghost Stories, which should be available at all good comic book stores. Or, you know, online, I guess. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, then please leave a like, that genuinely helps, and maybe even tag a friend to educate them.